I saw this caption of yours where it stated that Trump says foreigners go kick rocks and like Modi says welcome home, bhai.
Move tonight. You know, I go on the streets, I make puja, you know, I dance with the locals, and it's just so fun. It's just people just grab you and they're like, come dance. And I'm like, I'm a huge fan of the Modi coat. I actually wore a Modi coat to an American wedding recently, and it was very well received. People were like, you're looking smart, brother.
And like they say that India is becoming like the Silicon Valley of the global south. Do you agree with it?
But people in India are so open to innovation, so open to like trying different ideas. I think India has a lot of openness to it, and I'm very appreciative to Modi and to BJP. Like the developers here are truly world class. Every MNC in the world has a massive office, truly brilliant. Like look at the CEOs of the biggest company in the States from India, growing companies, startups right now. There are so many of them are Indian.
So, what is that specific difference that you see between how India and the US are treating their global entrepreneurs right now?
It's very difficult to start something in Silicon Valley. You need so much upfront capital, and people aren't as willing to take risks because the costs are so massive in the States. Like I went for a burrito the other day in California and I paid $20. Like that is insane. I could get, 12, 5, 10 burritos depending on where I'm eating in Bangalore. So it's much more cost effective here. And the talent is just like right on par. So I think it makes so much sense here to come and build tech for the world, but from India.
जब अमेरिका में डोनाल्ड ट्रंप विदेशी टैलेंट को लेकर दीवारें खड़ी कर रहे हैं, भारत इसी टैलेंट को लिए दरवाजे खोल रहा है। और इसी कड़ी में आज हमारे साथ हैं टोनी क्लोर, एक ऐसे अमेरिकी उद्यमी जिन्हें हाल ही में मिला है भारत का 5 साल का बिजनेस वीजा। टोनी ना सिर्फ अपनी कंपनी को लेकर भारत आए हैं, बल्कि यहाँ के ब्लॉकचेन और एआई इकोसिस्टम में एक नई ऊर्जा लेकर उतरे हैं। उन्होंने हाल ही में लिखा था, ट्रम्प सेज फॉरेनर्स गो किक रॉक्स, मोदी सेज वेलकम होम भाई। आज हम समझेंगे इस एक लाइन के पीछे की पूरी कहानी क्या है, क्यों टोनी जैसे ग्लोबल इनोवेटर्स अब भारत को अपना घर कह रहे हैं, और ये भी कि क्या ये सिर्फ एक विजन है या भारत में हो रहा है अगला टेक्नोलॉजिकल रेनेसां।
I'll begin by asking you, Tony, that first of all about your viral post about getting a 5-year Indian business visa. How big a deal was it?
I mean, it's truly phenomenal. Like, it's just like so excellent to see. I mean, I'm just like elated. Like, I couldn't be more, stoked. When I first came to India 2 years ago, I just like absolutely fell in love with it, and I've been building here for a little more than a year. And yeah, it's just been such a blessing to me. I've absolutely fallen in love with the culture, the people, the food, the festivals, just everything, that India has to offer. So it's been sensational.
So what attracted you to choose India as your base? What are you up to? Like our audiences might want to know, what are you up to here?
Yeah, totally. So essentially I'd worked in product and GTM over the past 10 years in Silicon Valley and New York, and had been a part of a few exits, mergers, everything else in between, and frankly was just sick of it. Like I really wanted to live abroad. I love traveling, and I was essentially doing some soul searching all around Asia, seeing where would be most optimal to set up shop. And then I came to India, like I said, absolutely fell in love with it. And then from that point on, I kind of quickly realized like India is the land of opportunity. Like the Web3 developer scene in India is truly second to none. And I found a community called Super Team, which is one of the most elite builder communities in India, became a member, and then, just started, entering hackathons and just cooking like different projects.
But like in your post, I saw this caption of yours where it stated that Trump says foreigners go kick rocks and like Modi says welcome home, bhai. So what is that specific difference that you see between how India and the US are treating their global entrepreneurs right now?
Yeah, absolutely. So you've probably seen too on the news where Trump is saying that foreigners will have to pay $100,000, or their companies will have to, for the H-1B visa, which is absolutely ludicrous. Like America truly runs on immigrants. It's a country of immigrants. I think that's totally preposterous. Many of the immigrants in America really like truly run America, and they're always at the forefront. Like look at people like, Elon Musk, he's
Yeah.
from, South Africa, and, the founders of all of the leading, MNCs in tech in the US, Google, Microsoft, they're all Indian. So I think that we have to really like treasure, our foreigners wherever they may be. I think everybody should be able to move freely and work wherever they want. And it really pains me that, it's such a challenge for Indians to come to America, to come to Europe, because everybody should be able to achieve whatever, they want to, whatever they desire in life. Like they should be able to, just be able to travel freely and attain whatever they want to achieve.
But like we have seen under the Trump administration, we have seen these tighter immigration controls and a little skepticism towards like the foreign talent. So how
Mhm.
has that impacted your business? Or maybe that's the
Yeah.
reason
So
you chose to shift.
yeah, I mean, I think for me, it was more that I just felt like India is just such a prime place to come and build. Like the intellectual capital here is truly like phenomenal. The builders here, the developers here are have truly like raised the bar, and they're really on par with Western developers. But of course, at the same time, the cost that you pay to have developers work with you here is much less. So I felt like as a young, startup founder, I could come here, I could try out a lot of different ideas, experiment, throw things against the wall, see what sticks. Whereas if I tried to do that in the US, like I did try in the US, like at first I told my friends who work at, Apple, Google, Tesla, like, hey, like I have this, idea in the, Web3 AI space, let's come like cook it. And they're like, dude, go kick rocks. Like, we don't want to do that. Like, we're so comfortable. But people in India are so open to innovation, so open to like trying different ideas. So I think it's really just like really stellar place to come and try things.
But has there been any specific Indian government initiative that aligns with your vision?
I mean, I would say that just India, seemingly has like an openness to enabling, foreigners to come to build, like, especially with this like 5-year visa, India is like really opening up its doors. So yeah, I mean, I think India is kind of doing it through like some of the past litigation that's been passed. And yeah, I mean, I think like India is just allowing people to come and to build here, and to start businesses here, to work with the developers here. So I think India has a lot of openness to it, and I'm very appreciative to Modi and to BJP for their openness to having foreigners come here and build. Like my roommate actually is I think the prime example of this. So he came here 12 years ago and started a small business called California Burrito, and now he's done exceedingly well. So he was kind of a mentor for me and has guided me a lot. So, now we want to encourage more and more foreigners to come here, come build. Like India is truly phenomenal. It's one of the most fascinating and just culturally, interesting places in the world by far. And I absolutely love, the life here. It's a blessing for sure. Like in the US too, to like nobody in the US has a cook. Like you have to be so loaded, so racked up to have like a cook, a maid, a driver, all of these things. Like living in India is, it's such a great life here. Like I absolutely love it. And I think people in the West are truly sleeping on that.
And especially this gesture of getting like a 5-year Indian business visa, was it like symbolic to you? As in, how do you think it reflects like a deeper shift in India's economic or technological vision?
Yeah, I mean, I think particularly too with like blockchain, India has kind of been a bit wary, which understandably, like, the industry has been, riddled with scams. But at the same time, the industry now at this point has come a long way, and is really at this cusp of, mainstream adoption, particularly with the like technology, not, anything else. Like the technology is really robust nowadays. And I think India is really realizing, like one of the, members of BJP the other day was speaking about stable coins and how India wants to adopt stable coins. And India is definitely trying to be at the forefront of AI as well. So some of these, these two sectors that are really like leading at the forefront of innovation, India seemingly is very much propelling them. You see the amount of like hackathons that persist in India in these two domains is like extraordinary. Like DevFolio is doing like so many hackathons every day. They did a hackathon on a train the other day in India. It was crazy. And all of the young developers in India are so ambitious. They have so much energy, and they all want to build in blockchain and Web3.
And like they say that India is becoming like the Silicon Valley of the global south. Do you agree with it?
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I think Silicon Valley itself is very overplayed, very overhyped. It's very difficult to start something in Silicon Valley. You need so much upfront capital, and people aren't as willing to take risks because the costs are so massive in the States. Like I went for a burrito the other day in California and I paid $20. Like that is insane. I could get, 12, 5, 10 burritos depending on where I'm eating in Bangalore. So it's much more cost effective here, and the talent is just like right on par. So I think it makes so much sense here to come and build tech for the world, but from India.
And like especially like you've worked in both the tech ecosystems. So how would you compare a collaboration culture between like the Silicon Valley and even India's new age startup hubs that we are seeing here?
Yeah, I would say here people are much more open to like trying new things, to experimenting, to sampling. I think really the way I kind of think about it is like Bangalore and like India is at a point where Silicon Valley was maybe like 10, 15 years ago when this like huge like inflection curve was about to hit. And so with that, but at the same time, Silicon Valley has become quite stale, and it's really like tougher to like innovate in Silicon Valley because there's like these behemoths that, like the Googles, the Open AIs, like they've done phenomenal work for sure, but it's like it's difficult for like an upstart to come along there and just completely start something new without like a ton of upfront capital. So I think here people are much more open to like trying things, and I think people are much like more like chilling like in their own ways in the States, like that people are just comfortable. Which is great. Like it's a great lifestyle in the States if that's what you want. But if you want to, really dig in and be in the trenches and try to build really cool, like new tech, I think India is much more optimal to do it nowadays.
Because especially if I talk about even you getting an Indian business visa, it especially comes amid a time like we discussed about how Trump has been, doing all these tariffs on India and then such a big fee on the H-1B visa. So how is the situation over there, or how do you see it as while
Yeah,
working
I
here
mean,
in India? Hmm.
for sure. So like yeah, in India, I mean, I think in India it's totally open, and you can come with any idea and start building. So I think here is much more open. I think people in the States are scared. People in the States, want to like protect their assets. People don't want to experiment. They want to go about the status quo. And I think here people are so much more willing to try things and experiment. So I think from an innovation perspective, I think India has way more opportunity than persists in the States. And yeah, I think the States is like so overplayed and overhyped. And I just too like I enjoy as like a nomad living in India so much more than the States. I do love New York and LA, like I lived in those places, but India is like, to me, it's so much more alive. Like I go on the streets, I make puja, I dance with the locals, and it's just so fun. It just people just grab you and they're like, "Come dance," and I'm like, "Yeah, let's boogie." So it's just like the culture here is truly like euphoric, and it really just like takes you for a ride, and that ride is just so many twists and turns and so much fun. So yeah, it's a journey
And why do you
that I'll
call
never
yourself White Baba? May I know?
Yeah, so that just came about via a video that I had made where I was essentially like, it was a Halloween Diwali video where I was essentially like pretending like I was a Baba, just purely satirical humor. And I don't know, for some reason it picked up, and like the next event I went to, I think it was India Blockchain Week, everybody's like, "White Baba, White Baba, White Baba." So it just kind of stuck. So yeah, it's been with me since.
Like I even like you were just telling me right now, even saw many of your videos on your timeline, like roaming around the streets of India. You're having conversation with people. I even saw you enjoying the Ganpati celebration as well. How is it? How do you see culture here as?
I mean, it's absolutely lit. Like I love it so much. It's so unique. It's so different state to state in India, and it's just like it's absolutely enthralling. Like it just it takes you places, you know, and it gives you so much energy, so much charisma. And I think like you know, Indian culture, it's such like deep culture. It's so deeply rooted and so much history, and it's just like it's just amazing. Like it's so fun as a foreigner to go to these festivals in India. Like this year I've been to Mahakumbh, I've been to Rath Yatra in Puri, I've been to Ganpati in Mumbai, and I just like I don't know, call me the puja king. Like I just absolutely love it. It's so fun, and I've never seen festivals anywhere in the world, and I've traveled quite a bit, that are as unique and as interesting. Like we went to a puja the other day in Bangalore where they were walking on fire. So it's just things you would never see anywhere else. It's so unique, and it's truly like such a treasure for me to like get to be able to experience, you know, the culture of India, because India is just so ripe with culture, and it's the most unique place I've ever been by far. And it's just incredibly fun. Like people love and are so welcoming to foreigners. You know, the typical quote, like guest is God. And I think that just reigns so true. Like I'm just treated so well by the people here. People are incredibly sweet. Like the amount of times that people have offered me accommodation, food, and like so much food, they'll like give me a plate and they'll be like, more, 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 more. You know how like Indian aunties can be with the food. And that food is phenomenal. Like I absolutely love Indian food. It is so dank. Like my cook, actually, when I first came to Bangalore, she's from Tamil Nadu, and she's literally the spice queen. Like she destroyed me for 2 months straight, and then I got strong, and so now I can like go eat whatever. Like I go to Shivaji Nagar with my homies all the time and be like, give me the spiciest thing you have. Like I can handle it. I'm chilling. And my Indian friends will be like, bro, I can't eat this.
No, but there is generally this perception in the West and maybe in America as well. They look down upon Indians, whether it's their culture, whether it's the technology, whether even it's about food, I would say. We have seen there has been this perception to look down upon Indians. So, did you even have certain perception before you came here, and has it changed, or what has had been?
Yeah, I mean, I totally know what you're saying, and I get some like crazy comments from my Western homies all the time. Like they're like, "Oh, how do you handle the smells?" and like, how do you handle this like grimy situation and blah blah blah. And I mean, I don't think like I think India, if anything, smells like pan and some of the incense. And I love the smells of India. Like I think it's amazing, and I think that people have certain stereotypes. Of course, there's stereotypes everywhere about every culture, and there's stereotypes for a reason. And if people actually come here and they visit here, they'll absolutely fall in love with it. Like India is truly amazing, and there are certain things like like the staring is like one thing that's like quite funny. But really, for me, it's like staring just means people are like interested and curious. It's all about like perspective and the way you look at things. So for me, I kind of think like a lot of these things are actually like positive, because people are just so interested in foreigners and they're so curious, like, oh, like, why are you coming here? What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. So I think sometimes people take that the wrong way and they're tripping. Like, people here are so warm, so friendly. Everybody wants to be your friend. Like, it's so easy to make friends here. It's such an inviting place. And yeah, I think people a lot of times are just kind of like in their own bubble and they have certain perceptions, but they're completely inaccurate. People in India are so intelligent, so bright, so friendly. And if people don't think that, they've probably never been here.
Okay, now especially coming to the tech part now, what would your message be to those global entrepreneurs who might, still hesitate to look at India like as a serious base for deep tech ventures?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would say you're absolutely tripping or you're sleeping too, if you don't think that India, is the land of opportunity. Like the developers here are truly world class. Every MNC in the world has a massive office, either here in Bangalore or in Delhi, somewhere in India. And I think, people here are truly brilliant. Like look at the CEOs of the biggest company in the States from India. Look at some of the, biggest growing companies, startups right now. There are so many of them are Indian. So I think if people, haven't realized that, India is the place to be. India has some of the best tech and developers in the world. Like they're sleeping absolutely because India is the place to be.
And like last question would be like if you had a chance to meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi, what would you like to discuss with him regarding India's blockchain and the AI future?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that would be such a treat. I would absolutely love that for sure. I'm a huge fan of the Modi coat. I actually wore a Modi coat to an American wedding recently, and it was very well received. People were like, "You're looking smart, brother." But yeah, I mean, I would certainly be love to discuss the future of blockchain here. Of course, like the taxes in blockchain are still quite high in India, which is challenging because most of my peers who are Indian end up registering in Dubai or Singapore because of that high tax that's levied here. So I would definitely want to discuss like that tax here and see if we could potentially get it lowered and have some slightly friendlier laws around stable coins and some different subsectors in Web3, just so that we could preserve the Indian builders here and really help foster more innovation in India, not drive like Indians out of India. Because I think one of my biggest like takeaways from the last like week has just been that we need to not only like bring foreigners to India, but we also need to bring Indians that are across the globe back to India and really encourage them to come and build here. Like they have gotten an amazing experience from the West, and they can come back here, they can flourish here, they can live like kings and queens here, and they can pursue their dreams here. So yeah, that's it.
And like in your next 5 year period, like since you got a visa as well, so how do you plan to use India as your base to, just multiply your business or maybe, take away certain things from what India has to offer you in terms of blockchain and the AI thing?
Absolutely. So I plan to invest here. I plan to hire here. I plan to build different businesses here. I plan to live here and flourish here, really. So yeah, like I, want to be here for as long as I can because I love it so much. It's been so good to me, and I just want to give back too. I want to do as much charity as I can when I'm here, and I want to be like a man of the people and be really an ambassador for India to Western people who want to come build here and to Indians who are thinking of coming back here to build really cool products.
Okay, so just lastly, I'm like anyway saying
Yeah,
in all the question last, but this would be the
you're
last
chilling.
one.
You're chilling.
Like, like you said, like Modi says, "Welcome home, bhai." So, what does this home mean to you now, Tony?
I mean, they say like home is where the heart is, but yeah, I mean, for me, it's like Indians have embraced me fully. Like I'll just go walking on the street, and people will come and talk to me, and they make me feel so at home. The food is so heartwarming, so that makes me feel at home. Anytime I make puja or go to a mosque here or a temple, I feel like such a powerful spiritual presence that makes me feel at home. So really, like home is everywhere in India. Like I feel at home everywhere I go, and so yeah, like I certainly plan to be here for the long haul, to come to build, to grow here, and yeah, I can't wait to see what like the next 5 years holds in store.
We wish all the best to you for your upcoming stay here. And it was a lovely conversation.